All right, good evening, Springs BOE. You're being recorded and you're live. You may start.
All right, LTV, thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. Prior to the start of this meeting, the board was in executive session where we were going over some personnel and hiring. So at this time, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Julie, would you do roll call, please?
Sure. Barbara Dayton?
Here.
Tim Frazier?
Here.
Eric Frederickson?
Here.
Emma Field? And Pat Brabant is absent.
Thanks, Julie. We could all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So thank you very much for joining us. We got a lot going on at our meeting tonight, and we are going to start it off with our student council update.
Good evening, members of the board. My name is Nate Tarvin. First off, the executive board would like to recognize and thank the members of Student Leadership Council for this school year 2022 to 2023. Please give your applause and celebrate all the participants. Emma Boyle, Vice President. Dante Narango, Administrative Assistant. Madison Kelly, Treasurer. In 8th grade, we have Sophie Lancashire, Ben O'Sullivan, Miles Manu, Josiah Padilla, Haley Eberhardt, Molly Stillman, Ella Manu, Claire Dorn, Alessa Pico, Ginger Griffin, Joanna McMillan, and 7th grade, Aiden Sadowski, Jeanette Gonzalez, Thomas Bobek, Adrian Grant, Watts Conley Bolick, Liam Beckert, Evan Shoemaker, and Lucy Knight.
Hello, my name is Emma Boyle. This year, we were finally able to have a full year in operation, minus pandemic restrictions, as a council. We had an election for the first time in many years with great candidates. We learned how important the democratic process is and how it is only a piece of the whole process in getting things done for our school and classmates. We offer Pizza Day once a week, taking and serving the pizza to the entire junior high every Friday. Last year, we only served 8. We added ice cream Fridays and raised money for our dances. We had 2 spectacular dances supported by the PTA, the Halloween costume dance and Aloha Spring Fling. We continue to work during Christmas time with Toys for Tots, providing for local families, giving them holiday gifts they may not have had otherwise. All members of Student Council did announcements this year on Tuesday through Fridays. We started the day with the entire school saying Pledge of Allegiance together. We also added the Diversity Club communicating our quote of the day in Spanish. We write and execute all announcements ourselves, which is a big change from last year. We were involved with the World's Fair, Park, Bingo Night, and many of our members were in the musical Beauty and the Beast. Most of our membership is involved with more than one school activity, and we were able to find the balance between a student-athlete volunteer. Hello, my name is Valentina Raymond. My job is to keep the minutes to our executive council meeting on Tuesdays and entire council meetings on Wednesdays. This year we had huge plans to do many other events that didn't necessarily come to fruition yet. For example, we wanted to beautify the tennis and basketball area with landscaping and fresh paint with community volunteers, add an outdoor chessboard, and revamp the Class of '84 spring school entrance sign at the Pleasant. We also had planned for a memorial area for former alumni that had passed on. Lastly, we wanted to make a mural for the 7th and 8th grade hallway to add color to that area. Mr. McCormick has taught us the importance of patience with these types of projects, and our job was to stay diligent and keep the ideas going so that next year's council can build on them, and each year more and more is accomplished. We hope that someday all the items on our agenda will be completed and new ideas will be on the forefront of the new student council. Hello, my name is Madison Kelly. My job for the student council has been to keep track of the money we collected for things such as pizza, ice cream, and the dances. Every week, we collect, count, and distribute the money for the pizza to pepperonis, the DJ for our dances, and ice cream for Ice Cream Fridays, which supports our council. A special thank you to Kelly Bahi and Mr. Josh Russell. Many of my student council friends helped me with this task. On average, we spent approximately $600 to the pizza store monthly. And as of today, I am happy to report our council has more in our account this year than we had last year, with everything except 1 week of pizza paid for. As a result, yesterday we had our accumulating student council field trip to tour historical sites in East Hampton Village. Mr. McCormack's former third grade teacher from spring school, Mr. Hugh King, led us through a walking tour of Home Sweet Home, Guildhall Hall, and the Clinton Academy. We then walked to Starbucks and we were gifted a treat as a thank you for our service to our classmates. Lastly, we toured the East Hampton Farm Museum on North Main Street with Mrs. Lamonta's mom, Alice, and Mr. and Mrs. Commander Carabine. We finished at Main Beach Pavilion looking out at the vastness of the ocean and the beautiful place we get to call home. As an 8th grader and speaking for the rest of the executive board, we were proud to serve our classmates and our spring school community. We know next year's council will feel the same way. Thank you so much, and go Ospreys.
So student council, thank you so much for coming to so many meetings this year and letting us know what you're up to. And I was sitting here thinking, I remember, you had a lot of plans at the beginning of this year, and I was curious about what you'd been able to accomplish and what you didn't. So I'm really impressed by the fact that you told us about the ideas that you had and wanted to do, but we're not able to follow through with them yet. And I think Mr. McCormick is right. These kind of projects take time and planning, and maybe some talk about at the Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting, but engaging the next year's students and how we can accomplish some of those projects is a great idea. So thank you so much for all your hard work and inspiration that you've had here this year. Thank you very much. And now we're going to have a PTA update.
How are you? That was I'll have to follow that. Congratulations. So my list is much shorter. Congratulations, 8th graders. The PTA update is all field trips this year have been completed and successful. Green and White Day last week, we coordinated with the PE department, and we want to thank the volunteers who cleaned out cut watermelon, help hand out ice creams and pizza. Kindergarten graduation is on its way next week, the 21st. And Summer Romeo has been leading the desserts and snacks. And then 8th grade graduation this year is going to have caps and gowns, thanks to parents helping with the theming starting tomorrow. We just received notice from the New York State PTA that we have gotten a Good Apple Membership Growth Award, the silver level, which means that our membership exceeded 50% growth this year, which is awesome. And we want to congratulate and welcome the upcoming PTA board. Jane Portman is going to be stepping up as president. Shelby Sinelli will be vice president. Allison Shades is going to be the treasurer. Maria Jimenez will be the recording secretary. And Summer Romeo will be our corresponding secretary. And I'm signing off.
You want to move the PTA recognition up?
Well, on behalf of the Board of Education, the administration, we'd like to thank the current PTA, Leah and Anna, Melissa, I know couldn't be with us tonight, Megan Payne and Jane Ford.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I can see Melissa tomorrow. I need to get a picture, Barbara. Let me do that. Inside is a bracelet, and it says, I can read it. All right, getting rid of that. Thank you for making a difference in the lives of students.
Thank you very much.
Let me get a picture.
Are you holding it or?
Yeah, you can hold it. So like, come on, like,
Is it like grandma, like a school picture style?
school picture.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, Julie, can you turn the fan down?
Sorry. So next on our agenda are some items of recognition, starting again with our students, our speech finalists, which we are happy to honor here this evening.
Is Mrs. O'Reilly here? Let's see it. Okay. So every year Mrs. O'Reilly does speeches in her classes, and the students work really hard on research and finding some topic that means something to them. And this year it was really difficult. I wasn't in the judging, but I heard the judges really had a really difficult time. So tonight we're recognizing first place, Ella Manu. Really want to give us the Barbara? Second place, Alyssa Pico. Barbara, maybe put them by the podium because the cameras, yeah. Valentina Arrigo. Some of the topics included, Valentina did Fly Free. Claire Dorn did the Pink and Blue Divide. Emma Boyle, Critical Crisis. Ella Manu, Stop the Stigma. Madison Kelly, At What Cost? Alyssa Pico, Their Silent Suffering. Ginger Griffin, Fighting for Change. And Molly Stillman, Behind the Scene. Really heavy topics that were done so well, so well. Okay. Oh, the Converse, okay, I'm getting. Hey, come on over. Great job.
Thank you very much.
You can stay up. So although we recognize these students at graduation, we always like to bring them forward to the Board of Education for their hard work and effort. These students just outshine. Ella Manu, valedictorian. Alyssa Pico, valedictorian. Ginger Griffin, valedictorian. And Molly Stillman, salutatorian. It's always nice to recognize you in a smaller venue. I know. We look forward to hearing great things from the high school.
Thank you very much.
Okay, now we are coming to the hanky portion of the evening, where we will be recognizing some retirees and people who will not be with us for a while. So we're going to start with our 3 teaching retirees.
So It gives me great pleasure tonight to just say a few words about our retirees tonight that I've come to really know over the last 6 years and adore and will miss terribly. Lucy Yardley. Lucy, you want to stand? Think you can do that for me? Hired in 1991 as a computer teacher, but very quickly reassigned in November 1991 to accept a special education position where she stayed for 32 years. Right move. Also contributing to the school community, mentoring her colleagues, numerous colleagues, coordinating MTSS with Mrs. Dragone. She served on the CSE and CPSC and kept that a little bit quiet. Didn't share that with me, otherwise I would have plucked you again, for several years, and really enjoyed her time in that role, but really wanted to get back to the classroom. She also received many grants for her programs. She always worked collaboratively with her co-teachers. She participated in all extracurricular activities, including Special Olympics. It's been a pleasure to work with you, Mrs. Yardley. You're a true advocate for your students. You always challenge them. I can never tell who the special ed teacher is in the classroom, exactly the way it should be. And you really gave the students the confidence they need that they can go to the high school and they can face any course that they want to take and are interested in. Thank you. Thank you so much for your years of service. These cups are again made by a student with disabilities, and I thought it was very appropriate for our retirees. Stay up there, we're gonna take a picture. Don't go anywhere. Mrs. Dragone, your turn.
Have her come up?
Hmm?
Have her come up here?
Have her come up. Come on up. And she changes quickly too. She was just on the sailing trip with the mentees. You had a beautiful night. I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous that I didn't get to
You were
go.
all there to enjoy it.
I'm sure you have lots of pictures. So Mr. Dragone was hired in 1992 as an elementary teacher. Back in the day when classes had multiple grades in them. She taught 3rd and 4th grade in one classroom. She was also a certified teacher and taught in our special education program, including the extended school year. Early in her career, Mrs. Dragone was recognized by the Board of Regents and the SED for her valuable contributions to helping raise learning standards for all students in New York State. Do you remember that? Very early on in her career. She's the former Spirit Me coordinator, mentored countless new teachers, volunteered to assist with PARP, World's Fair, PTA events, Special Olympics, community events that at that time, 2000, was a huge amount of money to raise for a good cause, and she helped in that regard, all while raising 2 children. She took on the roles of literacy coordinator, providing professional development for her colleagues, followed by MTSS coordinator, providing supports to students. Mr. Dragone was also on the board of the Greater East End Foundation and received numerous grants. I had the pleasure of supervising Mrs. Dragone during her administrative internship during a global pandemic. If that doesn't speak volumes for this woman's tenacity to get this done, even though there's a pandemic, her assistance was greatly appreciated though, because we were all learning on the fly. She's dedicated and commitment to making a difference in her students' lives. Thank you, Mrs. Dragone, for 31 years of service. Stay put. Mrs. Goldman, are you here? Did she come? No? Mrs. Goldman started her career at Spring School in 2000 as a nurse's assistant. We had nursing assistants in the nurse's office. She assisted with all clerical functions and kept the nurse's office running. She then went to the library, and then, believe it or not, we used to have attendance aides who made sure that students came to school, and when they didn't, they went out to homes to check on them. She followed these 3 jobs by being a teacher assistant in special education and in general education for the last 23 years. She was involved with the opera, Special Olympics, and more recently, calling buses for dismissal. I've also had the pleasure of working with her as the CSEA president, and Springs was so lucky to have her. Just real quiet but gentle giant in her own rights. So. Let me get a picture.
Yep.
Thank you. I want to get in there with this. Want to get me in the middle?
Yeah.
Thank you. She's found on Facebook.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicole wants us to give us.
Barbara, do you want
Okay,
to
so-
introduce Mr. Vecchio? Right behind you.
Oh, yes, are we doing Tim now?
Yes.
Okay, so we were scheduled to recognize our administrators, but we are going to do that at a less public time. And so right now, we are going to recognize our board member, Tim Frazier, who has been a board member for 12 years, which is really quite something, considering that this is, he's been a volunteer for all that time. It's one of our longest serving board members, and he is receiving official recognition from NISBA for all of his service this evening.
Thank you. My name is Bob Vecchio. I'm the Executive Director for the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association. I want to thank the Superintendent of the Board of Education for giving me a few minutes to recognize Tim. We received a nomination from his colleagues here for outstanding school board service. And every year we give out certain awards to school board members across Long Island. And we have a committee that picks a select few to receive a couple of our higher awards, and outstanding school board service is one of our higher awards at our association. We represent over 107 school boards across Long Island. And I started the day in Belmore. I love ending it here in East Hampton because it was a beautiful ride all the way out. Good news is I only have about 40 minutes to go back home. So it's, Ocean Parkway and coming out to East Hampton is a beautiful thing to do. In his nomination, it pointed out that you were a former principal for Southampton School District. So obviously education near and dear, vice president for 8 years, serving on the school board for 12. As a recently recovered board member of 18 years, 15 as board president, I finally got rid of the facial tics. So, I can tell you good things are ahead when you retire as a board member. But it's also struck us as far as the additional work that you've done in the community with the food pantry to help out those in need, and that you're continuing your work with early childhood education. And it was these qualities and some of the other things that were pointed out to our committee that stood out to pick Tim as one of our recipients of the Outstanding School Board Service Award. On behalf of the Nassau Suffolk School Board Association, Tim, we want to say congratulations. Thank you for everything you've done for your students, your community here, but public education at large as well, because we know how important it is to be a leader on a governance team for the most important asset that any community has, and that's their children. So on behalf of all of us at Nassau Suffolk School Boards, we wish you well in your retirement as a board member, and we hope that you will stay involved as you will with the early childhood education. I'm sure your community really appreciates everything you've done, so congratulations. Appreciate it, yeah.
Such an honor.
Oh, no, no, listen, I'll come out anytime, especially in the summer. Yes, thank you.
The rest of the board want to get in there?
Sure.
While they're doing that, I'd just like to tell the audience that, it's interesting, tonight was executive session. I was introduced to some new people. And I was a president for 20 years in Southampton before I took this other job, and being on the board here for 12 years and having a chance to meet one of my former students who's just been nominated for a teacher this evening is pretty amazing. So, and that's part of being in education for so long. You get to see the kids that come through your school and see how successful they become, and do the same kind of things that we love on a daily basis. So,
I never take for granted the impact that board members have on communities and schools. I know as a 18-year board member, I run into kids that I handed the diploma to during graduation, and it's something that always strikes personal, whether I knew the student or not. And they volunteer their time to serve the greater good and to be servant leaders like they are here and elsewhere throughout Long Island is always impressive. And always important to recognize. So thank you for all that you do.
For a group photo here.
Yep. Stay right there. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
Thank you. And I enjoyed the student presentations too. You got good stuff going on here. So congrats.
See my robust?
I did, yeah. Thank you. Okay.
Sorry you didn't get a chance to really see the building.
Well, next time.
Next time.
Won't be the last time I'm out.
All right, good.
Thank you.
Get home safe.
Very nice.
Now, this is not the only recognition
No,
for
you-
Tim. We do have additional appreciation of his service here. Mr. Knight, you want to come on up?
Getting worried about what's in here?
Oh, I know it's in there, dude.
For about 11 years, we've been doing the Day in the Life of the Taconic Estuary trip here at Springs, as long as I've been doing it. And every October, we go out and do the water quality testing, and every October, I go to Tim and I borrow his waders. Probably May, June, I might actually give them back, just to take them again in October. So before you leave, as a big thank you for the 11 years of me borrowing all your stuff, we got you some spring school color waders.
Oh, my gosh.
You get to have them in retirement. I'll have to go get my own pair because I can't keep borrowing from you, but you never know. Maybe I will.
Hey, anytime you want to borrow me, you're welcome.
So congratulations. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
So Tim has really been an incredible board member and a real support to the rest of us because he has his administrative background and, you know, we sort of get two sides of what's really going on in the school. It's been really important. And as board president, you know, as the vice president here, he's always had my back and sometimes speaking up at meetings when I don't speak up, you know, soon enough and covering when I'm not around. So he's been an absolute pleasure to work with. And I'm going to stop now because otherwise I'll start getting all teary. But Tim, you know, you've been great to work with. Thank you.
Thank you, welcome.
And now the board is going to recognize Julie Bistrian, who's been our district clerk for a long time. Now I'm going to get teary again. Julie is moving on from being our district clerk and from being here at Spring. She's hopping over to East Hampton. And she will leave very, very, very big shoes to fill here at Springs. She's been a phenomenal district clerk. I don't know what we would do without her. The most organized, thoughtful person possible. And we're going to be lost. But she is here to help us out through our reorg meeting at least. And, you know, we'll be generous with her time getting our new person acclimated to the job. But really, Julie, you've been absolutely valuable. Everything that you do for us is so appreciated. So thank you very, very much. No. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought the hanky was for me.
Besides being district clerk, Julie is also, she did payroll for a long time. She's the purchasing agent. When most districts do capital projects, they hire someone to do the capital project purchasing because you can put it on the capital project. But Julie took that on, doing all the purchasing for the capital project. You can't imagine what that was. For me, invaluable, coming to spring school and helping me learn the ropes. I'm going to be lost. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much.
Oh, we didn't take a picture, Barbara.
No picture. Okay, do you want to do the next couple things here, Deb?
The rest recognitions are really for financing, donation from PTA for $300 for Park Bingo, which was a huge success. Donation from Brian Marangola Contracting. I guess Heather sent her father to Costco and he decided to donate everything that he bought at Costco. $143.41. Our new teacher, Diane Shoemaker, is really rocking it with grants. She got $3,000 for the greenhouse project, architecture in the classroom, and she's just flying. And if you haven't tasted the green beans and the carrots from our garden, please do. They are fresh today from the garden. And then we received additional donations for robotics for another like $1,150. Springs Fire Department was in there, the Andrew Sabin Family Foundation, Christine Guarino, that relates to, and Barnaby Friedman, Stan Stanberg, and Stacy, and Samuel Carroll. So we thank all of our sponsors. We had a great trip to Massachusetts and rubbed elbows with teams from around the world. It's the coolest
It's a
thing.
very exciting opportunity. Okay, thank you very much, Deb. So at this time, it's time for public commentary number 1. If anybody has a question or concern that you'd like to bring to the board and you're a Springs resident, please stand up and be recognized. You can come to the podium. Or call in on LTV, of course.
We-
Oh, yes, hello. And public commentary number 1 is for items of board business, personnel, finance, et cetera. Board business stuff, I think.
Board business.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it
I'm gonna go with.
regarding to personnel, finance, and
Well, first, thank you, Julie. My name is Brittany Valentin. I'm a resident of Spring School. I have a daughter who goes here. Well, sorry. Julie, thank you for your service. Did a wonderful job here. I'm very sad to lose you, especially to a school so close by. But when I first started coming to board meetings this year, I feel like Julie really helped orient me. How do I navigate everything? She introduced me to the current business official, showed me where to find the board docs. And so as a parent of the school, I really appreciate your help at just orienting me and helping me figure out how do I have my voice heard and meet all of these wonderful people. So thank you for that. What I wanted to ask tonight or to just bring up is something we've talked about at a couple of board meetings in the past. So I'm just beating my drum again, is that this summer we'll be sending out, or the administration will be sending out the school lunch forms to families. If possible, I think it would be wonderful to use Parent Square these last couple weeks of school, just while people have their eyes on it still, to remind them of the importance of filling out that form when they receive it, because we know that it really will have impact on how our school is funded and how we're viewed at the state level, which is also experiencing a lot of changes. But, we should do everything that we can, and I know that we are, but just want to beat that drum one more time so that it's a reminder, because I know you have a lot on your radar. So if we could please just use Parent Square for that reminder that when you receive the lunch form, regardless of your family's income, it is very important that you fill that out for the school so that we can change how we get funded at the state level.
great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Those forms have to be in by
You just have to collect them by the start of school.
the start of school.
Okay.
Anybody else at this time or calling in?
We have 0
Okay.
callers.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to hop right into personnel, where we're starting with some new special education teachers, and they will see from our recent retiree that they might be for a long time.
Barbara, can I ask that the board approve these individually?
Certainly.
Thank you. So we had about 56 applicants for 4 special education positions, and coming before you tonight are 2 to fill 4, and they're very special individuals. Casey Lockhart, can you just stand? Casey comes with teacher assistant experience, but comes with a great passion for learning. This is the student that Mr. Frazier talked about from Southampton, so that was kind of cool tonight for him. Well, really, it was her that recognized him.
That's right.
So I would like the board at this time, let it be resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints Casey Lockhart to the probationary appointment of special ed teacher effective August 30th, 2023, with an anticipated tenure date of August 30th, 2027, and a salary of $59,469. She has her master's, and it's the first step plus benefits.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Congratulations. The second appointment is Bryn Crawley. Bryn. So Bryn also comes to us with teacher assistant experience. She spent a lot of time at John Marshall. So although, you know, Julie might be going to East Hampton, Bryn is coming to Springs. So we're happy to have her. She impressed our teachers with her lesson plan in a classroom with young children, and we're so happy to have her. So be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints Bryn Crawley to the probationary appointment of special ed teacher effective August 30th, 2023, with an anticipated tenure date of August 30th, 2027, at a salary of $51,715, BA Step 1 plus benefits.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations. Pamela Ramirez. Pamela comes as a result of the community supporting full-time Spanish teacher for grades K to 5. We're very fortunate to have someone who attended spring school for a number of years, went to East Hampton High School, graduated. Besides wanting to teach in a bilingual program and teach Spanish especially, this woman is a I-Try graduate, alumni, who is giving back to her community, spending time training many Springs girls, but also expanding as far as William Floyd, West Hampton Beach, East Hampton, with the I-Try. We're just so thrilled to have you, Pamela. Our girls are going to look up to you. Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints Pamela Rodriguez to the probationary appointment of elementary teacher, Spanish, effective August 30th, 2023, with an anticipated tenure date of August 30th, 2027, at a salary of $51,715, BA Step 1 plus benefits. Welcome.
Do I have a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are delighted to have the three of you here, and thank you so much for joining us this evening as we officially welcome you into the Springs Bowl. Thank you.
Letter D is the appointment of Diane Shoemaker, .4 school counselor. Again, thanks to the community and to the Board of Education for their support. Mrs. Shoemaker is currently our business teacher. She's in the greenhouse, but she's also a certified school counselor. This will provide additional mental health support to our students, and very much appreciated, and will be grant funded. CSE and CPSC and interview committees for summer 2023. There are no, we just appoint all the Springs teachers because we don't know who's going to sit on committee. Appointments for the summer 2023. I am very grateful to these individuals who are willing to give up some of their time this summer and help us out. We have Diana in the library, Rachel as additional clerical, Jane White, additional clerical. John Gibbons will be back with us this summer to help with phones and website and e-school training for our new administrators. Letter G is the appointment of summer school and ESY staff. I want to thank everybody again for stepping up to run this program. We're being very creative this year and allowing people to share positions because 6 weeks is a big commitment. I thank the Board of Education for also increasing the rate of pay for our teacher assistants so that this program could run for our really neediest children in the district. So you have all your ESY staff there. You have 2 coordinators that are going to split the position. You have our new teachers that have stepped up to teach in the summer school program. Thank you, Casey and Graham, Christy Lamondra and Lisa will share a teaching position as well as coordinating the program. Our teacher assistants, Margaret Doyle, Alexandra Colonna, Carla Desiderio, Danielle Pizzo will be the teacher assistants. We have a Jumpstart program that will take place for 3 weeks. All these programs run from 9 to 3 with transportation. Megan Leiden, Melanie Crosses, Pamela, Jasmine Panea, and that program is Title III funded. The special ed programs, by the way, are 80% reimbursed by the state of New York for those programs. And then you have your summer library hours are going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday from 9 to 12. We have our greeter, our speech therapist, OT, school nurses, school psychologists, and substitute teachers as well. And their substitutes, substitute library aides, bus drivers, everybody that can possibly make the summer school run are on there for your approval tonight. Julie, is the Board of Registry, which is.
Yes, that's what we appoint after there's an election. So
After there's election. Okay. I is to amend several stipends. As you remember, our auditors requested that we make sure that the extra stipend positions, the hours are kept track. Our teachers have done what's been asked of them. So you have the PARP going from level 3 to level 3 parents as partners, reading partners. The yearbook level 2 to 3, which is not surprising with how the school has grown. And diversity coordinators level 1 to level 2. And that is grant funded, and I think you find Mark did a wonderful job with that this year. Appointment of intramurals, this already took place. We just appointing Mrs. Mann and Mrs. Elliston on that. We have an amendment to family leave, person's back already, and substitute certification. Melissa Barisi actually received her certification, so she goes from uncertified substitute teacher to certified substitute teacher. From hospital instruction, tutoring, Holly Negron for 1 student, and an agreement with our school nurse, an agreement with our teaching assistants for the summer school. We have a leave of absence request for student teaching. One of our TAs is going back to get the student teaching done. We have Julie's resignation is letter T. And that's all of personnel.
Great, thank you very much, Deb. Do I have a motion to move personnel items A through T to consent agenda?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now it's time for finance. Steve?
Sure. Letter A, you have the warrant for May 2023. B, we have the claims order report for May 2023. C is a tax anticipated note for school year 23-24. We have D, the bond for the school bus annually. E, we have the Eastern Suffolk BOCES 23-24 Joint Municipal Cooperative Bidding Program contract. And F, we have the agreement between Southampton for the special education for the summer 2023. We have 2 budget transfers, Eastern Suffolk BOCES and 1 for health services. And thank you, the PTA again for the donation for bingo night. And thank you again for Brian Margolo contracting for the donation for bingo night. And the various donors that made the last week trip to Boston for the robotics trip made us very thankful. So I want to thank them again. That's it.
Great, thank you very much. And just like the budget transfer that was going, was it going from BOCES or to BOCES?
That was going to BOCES.
To BOCES, right. Okay, are there any questions at this time about the finance items? Okay, do I have a motion to move finance items A through K to a consent agenda?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Great, thank you very much. We also have a number of minute approvals from previous meetings. So Be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby approves the minutes of the May 2nd, 2023 work session, the May 9th, 2023 public hearing and budget 2023-2024, the May 9th, 2023 public hearing policy number 5300, Code of Character, Conduct, and Support, May 9th, 2023 regular meeting, May 16th, 2023 annual budget trustee vote for 2023-2024, and the May 30th, 2023 special meeting, executive session, board only for a personnel item. Do I have a motion to approve those?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. We have some items on the committee for special education for the annual reviews, right? So be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby accepts the recommendations from the Committee on Preschool Special Education and the Committee on Special Education, CSE cases 1 to 7 through 77. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and do we have some, it looks like we have a committee member update from Buildings and Ground. I know I missed that last meeting. Do you have an update for that, Deb? Do you have it?
No, but that, it's to appoint Steve to the committee, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Yes, okay. Oh, I was reading that as being minutes. Okay, sorry. So, yes, so be it resolved that the Board of Education hereby appoints Steve Guarini to the Buildings and Grounds Committee. Be it further resolved that the Board of Education hereby accepts the resignation of Kristen Turnow from the Communications Committee and the Guidance Plan Advisory Committee. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And we're just going to throw it out there that we have an open invitation to join committees. The following committees have availabilities: there's Buildings and Grounds, Communications, Guidance Plan Advisory, Health, Safety and Wellness, Policy, Shared Decision Making, and the Technology Committee. And I think we are going to talk this year about forming another kind of financial committee regarding advocacy, development, and some things like that. So stay tuned. We do have a couple of policy items here. We have the final read and adoption of policy 5300, which is the Code of Character, Conduct, and Support. We have the second read and adoption of 4110, which is the school calendar, and second read and adoption of 4200, the curriculum management. Actually, we need to do a resolution for these, don't we, Julie?
Yeah.
Okay. But do each one separately?
No, we can do all three of them.
Okay, great. Do I have a motion to move policy items A through C to consent agenda?
Motion.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Deb, want to give us our superintendent report?
Sure. You have a reorganization resolution there. I would wait to do the entire Board of Ed calendar until you have a new board member present, but we do need to set the reorganization meeting. We are recommending Tuesday, July 11th at 7 p.m. in the school library, if that's okay with everybody. We're supposed to get it done by the 15th?
Right.
Yeah, we're not going to meet on the 4th of July, so this is the following Tuesday, if that's okay with everybody.
That work for everybody?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, great. So be it resolved that the annual reorganizational meeting for the Springs Union Free School District be held on Tuesday, July 11th, 2023 at 7 p.m. in the school library. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
So our enrollment report, we haven't moved too much in any one direction. We're actually down 2 students in spring school. We went from 676 last month without pre-K to 674. With pre-K, we're up to 26, sorry. At the high school, we've only lost 1 student from last month to now. And if you compare us to last year this time, we are up 19 students from last June. On the average, we were about 20 over each month.
Right.
That's just for the high school.
number the next meeting.
Was that the high school or all of spring school? Up
What?
19. Oh, that we're up 19 students.
No, that's just the high school.
That's just the high school.
The increase in our school, UPK to 8th grade, is a combination of UPK and our building going up, kind of equally increases in both areas. So the increase in UPK definitely bumped us up because we went from a 2.5-hour to a 5-hour program, but we also went up in our building as well. And we still have children registering as late as last week.
Okay. Great, thanks very much, Deb. Okay, now time for public commentary number 2. If somebody on LTV or in the audience has an item that they wish to bring to the board's attention, now would be the time to do so. Anybody here? Anybody watching us from home?
We have no callers at this time.
Okay, LTV, thank you very much. Board members, should we try to squeeze in another meeting next week, and so Tim can have the pleasure of having another meeting before he actually? We could find a reason to have a little work session, maybe.
You have an executive session next Tuesday.
Actually, this is true, we do. Oh, gotcha.
Doesn't mean I have to be there.
It's not the end of the month yet. So at this time, since we have nothing else on our agenda and no public commentary, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
And have cake.
Second? Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Stay for cake. We have this